Hi, my name is Dr. Ronald Zammit. I'm a clinical psychologist, psychotherapist, clinical trauma professional, and I specialize in the treatment of trauma-related disorders at the Trauma Clinic at Willingness. What I'm going to talk about today is something which most of us know too well, and that is stress. If you're an educator, you're probably constantly managing different tasks, different things, lesson plans, managing the classroom, and probably the list goes on and on. In addition to which, you're also probably trying to manage your own personal life, all at the same time. And this can obviously lead us to feel stressed. So what is really stress? And why does it impact us the way that it does? So essentially, stress is the body's normal response to any demand or challenge. And it's not always a bad thing. In fact, there is a healthy dose of stress, which is called eustress, which helps us to boost our motivation, to sharpen our focus, and also it helps us to rise to the occasion when we've got something big coming up, like a big event or perhaps an inspection. However, the problem starts when stress becomes chronic, when there is too much pressure, when there is too many things to do, and we don't have enough time to recover from it all. So when this happens, stress turns into distress, which is that kind of stressy feeling that we experience that tends to make us end up feeling emotionally depleted and exhausted. Now, something which I think is also important to understand is how stress affects our brain and our body. So when we're feeling stressed, what's actually happening within our brain is that the brain starts to release what we call stress hormones, like cortisol and adrenaline. And when this happens, our heart starts beating faster, our muscles start tensing up, and our brain goes into fight, flight, or freeze mode. Now, obviously, this was something very, very useful for our ancestors who had to run away and protect themselves from predators. However, the issue with this brain of ours is that it cannot really tell the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and a pile of unmarked essays. So it will pretty much react to these very different situations in a similar way. So the goal is not to get rid of stress, but our goal is to try to understand what it is, learn a bit more about it, because once we start learning more about it, then that will put us in a much better position to do something about it and to manage ourselves in ways that are going to support our well-being. Thank you.